Well, President Vladimir Putin is headed to India today for a pivotal summit with Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Among the key items on the agenda is a landmark labour pact that could make it easier for Indian professionals to work in Russia, where labour is in shortage. Ishan Garg with this report from New Delhi.
When President Vladimir Putin arrives in New Delhi this week for the 23rd India-Russia Annual Summit, a key item on this year's agenda could be a mobility agreement. It's expected to create a formal framework for Indian workers heading to Russia. As Moscow faces an acute shortage of skilled labour, it is turning to New Delhi for help. More than 70,000 Indian nationals are expected to be officially employed by Russia by year-end under new quotas. The sectors looking to hire include construction, textiles and high-tech machinery. Reports say Russia's Ural region, which is the country's heavy industrial heartland, is particularly keen on Indian talent. But analysts believe Moscow will have to offer safer working conditions and higher pay to compete, especially as destinations like the UAE and Saudi Arabia and newer markets like Japan and Israel are already aggressively courting Indian workers.
Russia has not been one of the primary destinations for Indian middle classes. So I think, again, it will be incumbent on Russia to, in some ways provide those incentives that would be required for this kind of mobility pact to work, because other countries are doing that. So it is also competition among among major countries in the world at the moment and among India's partners.
But there is a more pressing concern. Over the past year, New Delhi has raised alarm bells about Indians being recruited into Russia's military. In November alone, the government confirmed that 44 Indian nationals are currently serving in the Russian army, with many reportedly coerced or misled by agents promising safe jobs. Experts say this is why the new pact must include ironclad safeguards to ensure civilian workers aren't pulled into the conflict with Ukraine.
I think it can be insisted and it can be built into the framework, because that would be a good way of providing some degree of insurance to people who may decide to move.
Analysts believe the pact deepens India-Russia ties beyond just guns and oil. For Russia, it addresses an existential labor crisis. For India, it opens a new frontier for employment, while also potentially closing down its trade deficit with Russia with remittances from Indian workers. For CNA, I'm Ishan Garg in New Delhi.